Special focus this morning from Benin is to be looking at the just released results of the West African Examination Council certificates. You know, that's the way it was called those days. But right now, we still know that WASSCE, that's the West African Senior School Certificate Examination 2025. So why just released it about some few days ago, the 2025 edition, and it's you know, some of the information we are following on this now is that the West African Examination Council (WAEC) has released the results for the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school certificates. Then a total of 1,969,313 candidates sat for the examination conducted between April and June, and out of 1,973,365 candidates that registered across 23,554 recognized secondary schools in Nigeria. The exam was also conducted in schools operating the Nigerian curriculum in Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, and Equatorial Guinea. WAEC's head of Nigeria office, Amos Dangote, you know, announced this and released the results some few days ago. Then, according to him, 1,718,090 candidates, representing 87.24% of those who sat for the examination, obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, with or without the English language and mathematics. So we'll pause there for a while, because it's going to be a special, you know, a special focus this morning, because from the analysis we are following so far, there seems to be a sharp decline in the performance of the English language as that examination is concerned. So joining us this morning, we are so privileged to have a renowned educationist in Edo State, and of course in Nigeria. Dr. Felix Osawona is right here with us this morning. Doctor, a very good morning to have you.
Good morning, Mr. Evans. Yeah. It's a privilege.
All right, now. Now, I understand that you are a proprietor of one of the schools in Benin, and you were so involved in this just concluded examination, you know, by WAEC. Now, what is your perception, you know, in the examination so far? Let's start from there.
Good morning, viewer. Like you know, this very exam started April 24th and ended June 20th. And you know, exam like WAEC and other exams, it takes 3 stages: pre-exam, during the exam, and post-exam. And presently, we are in the post-examination, which talks about the releasing of the results and others, checking and others. So, it was on the 4th of this very month, and everyone got the news from Dr. Amos Dangote that WAEC have released their results. Then we go and check. As you all know, everybody are eager and willing to check their results. But it was a different thing during checking of the results. As we are talking now, some students are scared of checking their results because of what I may describe as the unbelievable. So the percentage this year was, the dropping was too low, was just down. But when I listened to the statement and the press briefing by the head of WAEC in Nigeria here, Dr. Amos, and he said that the result was a huge success. A huge success, having the percentage 38.32%. A very huge decline from even last year, 2024, which was 72% that had credit above in mathematics and English, 5 credits. So then it went further to also inform the general public that the exam being very successful, that they put in some strategies like this issue of serializing the objective
That's the objective questions now.
Yes. If, for example, both of us, we are writing exams together, your objective and my objective will be different in some key subjects like economics, mathematics, English language, and biology. Then here we are now. The English, I think, is the major subject now.
Yeah.
And like you know, without English, if you failed English, you have failed that exam. Same as mathematics. And there are complaints everywhere as we are talking. Then the 38% now, when you go further, you are going to see that majority of the students that failed that English, many of them did well even in their JAM. Many of them even score up to 200-300 above. Many are wishing to go in for their post-UTME. Presently, many universities have released the purchase of their forms. Then, where is their hope?
All right. Now, one of the information that we're also following is that according to Amos Dangos, now that's the head of WASSCE in Nigeria, he's saying that 1,718,090 candidates, representing 87.24% of those who sat for the examination, obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects with or without English language and mathematics. Now, just like what you said a while ago, that there seems to be a sharp decline in a particular subject, the English language. Because I've been privileged to see some of the results. I mean, some candidates having almost all A through, then it got to English language, then you see a very weak, pass, a D7, which is not a total failure anyway, D7 and all that. Now, remember, because I'm a parent too, I follow the trajectory and all that. Now, remember, on that day of the that day of the English language, it was said that a particular aspect of the English language, the theory aspect of it, leaked. So that made WASSCE to now cancel that aspect, and they ordered a reprint that made candidates to be writing that examination into late hours of the night. There are even some allegations now, some reports that in some centers, candidates had to use their phones, candlelight to write examination and all that. Now, don't you think it's only natural for that situation to have happened, and for us, for students also, have that kind of result that they had in that, the way it's coming out? So if that is the situation, what would you want to say about WASSCE? How is it fair on the part of WASSCE?
Yes, to me, I think I was fully informed and I followed the process very well. That day, what you have said is exactly what happened. They said there was a leakage in the papers and there was a reprint 3 days too. Then the paper came late that very day, and some children left their various centers at about 9 p.m. Meaning 7, 8, 8:30, they were still writing. Then,
and some of the centers, they didn't have lights.
Okay, then let's come closer. What are the provisions? When you go to rural areas, what do you think are they going to use there? At that moment, who is going to supply electricity for them? Will they not subject themselves to candle lights or phone torch? So, to me, even, I think there was a time I saw a video that was on, a viral video, where the House of Rep invited a senior official from WASSCE. And these were questions were given.
Concerning this English language.
Yes. That in their time, at least 5, 6, you are done with your paper. Then why not pushing the children under pressure? May I not use the word duress now? Midnight, some of them have not eaten. Some have to assist their parents at home, maybe to do some cooking or whatever. So when you look at it, I was thinking that WASSCE, in our wisdom, will do the right thing. But I think the reverse was what we saw. Because as at the time, the House of Rep man was questioning the the official there, and the official said during the marking that whatever comes up that they are going to see to it. But now if it was the question that now triggers them or whatever, but no one could actually explain.
But now, because what we are looking at now, the whole thing is it's kind of funny. I mean, if I remember I was privileged to see that meeting that the House Committee on Education had with members of WASSCE, questioning their performance, their behavior. How come the exam leaked and the students candidate writing examination into the night and all that. Now they said they were going to look into it. Now that presupposes that they were kind of informing or letting Nigerians know that, okay, they will compromise their standard. Because it's funny. I mean, it's funny with the way things have come. Now, if that happened now, the question I asked a while ago, don't you think it's not fair on the part of WASSCE to have even went ahead with that particular subject? A lot of persons thought that WASSCE would have cancelled that English language entirely and ordered for another one.
Yes, thank you. But to me, when you talk about a score, it's not just only that very day, the paper they wrote that day. Remember, these children, prior to the exams, they have what we call CAS 1.
What do you mean by CAS 1 now?
Continuous assessment for senior secondary school students.
Okay.
That is like XX1. They collate their scores. In present day time, what we call, or before now, what we call test scores. Test scores is there. CAS 1, SS2, you have to have CAS 2. You are also to have CAS 3. That is SS3, your final year. So all these scores are collated in addition to the paper. Example now, the English language. So from there, they can go ahead to do their division. So I was thinking, already having understanding that this is something came up like this, and the children cannot give maximum performance. They can't perform to that level, to that high level that is expected, because it was already late, and they, by them, must be tired. They must be tired. Some have not eaten, and a hungry man is an hungry man. So how do you expect the children to give that huge performance? So I was thinking, looking at CAS 1, CAS 2, CAS 3, if there would have been ways that they can refine. But when you go there, sir, the English language is a massive failure. We are even hearing about, I don't know how true it is, that some states are protesting.
Concerning this English language?
Some states. We even saw some out papers that about 151 schools in Lagos State, they were summoned within 10 working days to Lagos to show up within 10 working days to show up in WAEC office.
Okay, the school's management now summon their staff.
No, it's the WAEC.
Okay.
WAEC withheld
their results.
Yeah, their results. And they summoned them, the principals of school, that they should report to WAEC within 10 working days.
Now, some of the information we are also following in the media space is that WAEC is considering a receipt. Somebody said that they started that sometime last year, that there's an ample opportunity for you to quickly do a receipt when a result comes out. Because we are trying to look at time. Some of these children, they wrote the last JAM.
Yes.
And we understand that some major schools, they've brought out time for their post-UTME.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, everything, admission process and all that, everything will culminate into the next session, which is supposed to start sometime around October, November this year. Now, if WAEC is saying that, okay, we're going to have a receipt, do you think there's going to be enough time so that at the end of the day, take, for example, a child that made his or her jump, he or she sits for a receipt, then at the end of the day, he can still get the result to do the clearance when he or she gets admission in the university?
Yes, thank you. Like I know, if they are coming out with that option, I won't kick against it. But I know that in things like this, the school heads they can, apply for remarking to WAEC. You can vet your paper, you can call for it, but you have to pay for it.
All right, so is that what you're suggesting now, that school
No,
has...
we are just discussing now.
Okay.
So they can't do that. And I also know that exams take some, some procedures. How long is it going to take them now to collect all the children that they do well in their WAEC now? We have 36 states.
Now, a while ago, Dr. Osaoname, we were trying to look at the speed
Yes.
at which this results was released.
Yes.
Like you rightly said, that this examination was probably completed about 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Now, that exam was written theoretically.
Yes.
The exam is also...
Only few were having a CBT.
CBT.
Yes.
The exam was also expected to be marked, manually and all that.
Yes.
Unlike, say, for example, an examination like JAM, that is online.
Yes.
Everything is online. It's possible that under 2-3 days you get a result. So the speed at which the results came out, you're talking about that.
Yeah, the truth is, you see, we know we are all going digital. But you have to look at so many modalities. If we are talking about, digitalizing or our exams or whatever, what about those in the rural area? Are you going to cut them off totally from writing this way? Or are you going to mobilize them to the city centers?
Okay.
So what the speed, I don't really know. I don't know what was just so urgent about the speed.
All right, Dr. Osaoname, we'll take a short break now because I've just been told that we must take this break. Don't forget the program is still this morning on ITV. And we are extracting the just released WAEC result, 2025 WAEC result for senior secondary school students. Please stay tuned.
TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you one more time. The program's still on your television, independent television. Now, one of the facts that we also have concerning this examination is that 976,787 of the candidates who sat for the examination were male, while 992,526 were female, representing 49.6% and 50.40% respectively. In other words, more females, wrote this examination. Yes. I think that's a good development, Dr. Felix, don't you think so?
Yes, it's a good development. I think there are times we may also have a male student writing the exams compared to the female student. So it's something good. But I would also want to encourage our male students that they should have passion for education. They should have passion for it. Let us not leave it for the female wholly. So, but looking at it, that merely is a good development.
Okay.
It's a good development in the sense that we are having people that are eager and willing from the female folk now
to go to school.
Yeah, to go to school.
Yeah.
So, and I'm happy about it. So, parents, the government, and other body, they should do everything to support even those that have the brain, that are willing, but the finances could not be there. But they should do everything to give them the assistance.
Now, a while ago, you talked about the serialization of the questions.
Yes.
Now, I discovered that serialization of the questions in the examination was not done in all the subjects.
Yes.
It was only in some major subjects like English language,
yes,
biology, mathematics and economics. Now, why want to do that? If you are saying that, okay, one of the best ways you can ensure that there's no malpractice is to serialize your questions. So why don't you do it all through?
Okay, Ati, thank you. What they are trying to do, they are trying to see some of their logistics, if it's going to run through, if it's going to work out very well.
Okay.
The issue of exam malpractice, so that they can reduce the issue of examination malpractices. Students writing the same, the same work. So that is the angle they are coming out from. But now, let us come closer now again. A situation where the students, the papers were delayed till 9 o'clock. Are you going to tell me that the children, there may not be similarities in their work?
And in some centers, it was even alleged that at the end of the day, some of the invigilators did not even allow...
They can't give 100% because it's night already. The invigilators or the supervisors, they can't give 100% as usual.
100% in terms of allowing the children to use their time?
No, the supervision.
Okay.
Because it's night already. It's already night. And you know when it's dark. Okay. There is no light, you know. It's just only city center. Even schools, maybe like we are in Edo State now, in GROs. I may even be able to tell you, sir, not all schools have the lighting system in their hall. So they can't give the usual marking and, you know, the supervision. It can't be.
All right, so out of a total of 12,178 candidates with varying degrees of special needs were registered, including 112 visually impaired, candidates, then 615 hearing difficulty candidates, then 52 with mental health conditions, and 37 physically challenged candidates also sat for the examination. Then WASSCE said provisions were made to support these candidates, and their results have also been released. Then so far, we understand that so far the results of 1,517,517 candidates, yes, that is 77.06%, have been fully processed and released, while 451,796 candidates, that is 22.94%, still have one or more subject pending due to issues being resolved. You want to talk on that?
Yes, it's not a new trend. It's a common trend. Whenever a result is released, there may be one or two issues which can make WASSCE to put a thorough checking in those papers. You say, or schools. You say, okay, we are observing some similarities, maybe a 2 or 3 or 4 candidates. They copied each other. Then, if WASSCE observes something like that, they can paint that result or withhold that result. So after the normal release, they cannot take their time to go through. But after a month or 2 months, I think some of those results are being released.
Now, yeah, it's good, but it becomes very, very worrisome for parents that you release such results at the time that that child cannot use that result for anything. Because the issue of admission is time-bound. Take, for example, you now go ahead to release the results by January, February next year, when most tertiary institutions have completed their admission process.
Yeah, that's setting. But one other thing, in addition to what you just said, is that most times when those results are released, they are never going to be released as being very good or having a good grade. It's either the result is being reduced or dropped. So it can be. So, but I think in my own way, I'm thinking, my opinion now, that WASSCE should come out with a better, strategy. Now that there is an issue, they should come out with better strategy on how to handle this issue, because a lot of persons, a lot of stakeholders, the parents, the school heads, they are all waiting to see the outcomes. But to me, what would have really helped them was during the time the House of Rep, they set up a committee that would have given the WASSCE, I'm thinking, it's my opinion, a better opportunity to really sit down. So I think they need better, advisors when it comes to, because WASSCE is a big body in exams. Because what is actually on now is going to give opportunity to parents and school heads to register their children in other exams.
Yeah.
Like NECO, the NAPTED. Because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Are you seeing it now? So I'm thinking WASSCE should come out with a better strategy curbing this issue. Time band, some of these children, some only enroll just WASSCE, no NECO, maybe due to financial constraint and other issues. But so At the end, you are seeing something like this. Come on.
Okay, let's quickly, before we wrap it up now, because we are following the analysis that WASSCE has released concerning this examination. Now, the head of WASSCE in Nigeria, Mr. Amos Dangote, is of the opinion that 262,803 candidates, representing 13.34% of the total number of candidates that sat for the examination, been withheld in connection with various reported cases of examination malpractice. Then, of course, he went ahead to say that these issues are being investigated by the Nigeria Examination Committee, that's NEC, for due consideration. Yes. Then Mr. Dangote also warned candidates and parents or guardians against the activities of fraudsters who operate rogue websites and impersonate the council to mislead the public. Now, what that says is that you're going to start having various results now. WASSCE has released their official results. Yes. Then some fraudsters will also release their own result. But I want to also thank the management of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. I mean, I think it was in our time, sometime around 2001 or thereabout, that the verification exercise started. Yes. If you like, bring all A's, get your admission at a certain stage, during your field of course in school, you'll be fished out because they must verify, that result that you are bringing. So quickly, you want to speak on these activities of fraudsters? Yes,
it doesn't, whatever they like, they can go ahead. You see, WASSCE as a body is a huge body in exams. So each year, just like the JAM, NECO and others, whenever they release result of students, they always have one character. They have so many features in their result. So whenever you tender a result that is not authentic, the result that is not authentic, they will know. So because of the future, the characteristics, the characters inside the paper, so they have it. But you may not know because you are outside that, but they themselves, they know what they have done.
Now, WASSCE, is also faulting school owners now. That's one of the greatest challenge that they have, is school owners not, respecting registration guidelines, not adhering to registration guidelines, because that seems to be a major problem for WASSCE.
To me, I may not really see that as a great or a big issue, because during the process of registration, in WASSCE there is always extension. You hear a week has been added. Before you know, 2 weeks have been added. Before you know, 3 weeks have been added. Then, as at the time they put a final stop on it, the school owner, did they break into the WASSCE office and compare them that you must extend it? No. So to me, I don't really see that as a big issue, because they have the final say. If today is the deadline, it's finished. So nobody question them. So they should have authority, and I believe they have authority.
Okay. All right. So WASSCE is also saying that the candidates, some candidates that were sponsored by big organizations, government organizations, to have registered them, WASSCE is in WASSCE's magnanimity. They registered those candidates. They allowed them to do to sit for the exam. But what WASSCE is saying now is that those candidates' results will not be released until their debts are being paid. So I don't know, at times when you see politicians, they politicize everything. So please, I think we're using this opportunity to let politicians know, if you registered any child for this WASSCE that we're talking about now, that's the 2025 WASSCE examination, and that registration fee has not been paid, please pay that money, pay WASSCE that money, because if you don't pay, WASSCE will not release the result. That's what WASSCE is
yes,
saying.
It's true, Mr. Evans. I think they should pay. But WASSCE should also understand that just like we school runners, there are some candidates that we enroll. They don't pay in full, some part payment.
Yeah, but so it's not WASSCE's responsibility. I mean, you own those students.
Yes, they should also understand. The government or other stakeholders, they will certainly pay. So what they have done is apt, holding the results, pending when they pay. The moment they pay, I believe that's what WASSCE can be doing. The moment those stakeholders or government or worker or whatever, the moment they paid, they cannot have access to their WASSCE results. So that is what should be done, and I believe that is what WAEC have done. So
right.
they should hold on.
Okay. Okay. All right. So finally, for us not to have this, trend to repeat itself again, what do you think WAEC should do? What do you think parents should do? What do you think, candidates should do? And what do you think schools should do? Quickly.
All right. Thank you. One, I am of the opinion that WAEC should set up more working logistic, operational.
Okay, operations.
Yes, operation. Yeah. So they need to come up with better, process or processes. Unlike this English now, whether you take it or not, sir, WAEC have an issue. Later, of paper was an issue. So this area, those challenges, they should try to curb it. And the parents also, and the school head, they should encourage these children to have other exams bodies. When you enroll for WAEC, try NECO as well, so that if there are 1 or 2 issues here, you can cover up with the other exams. Imagine a child that has scored 320 in JAM or 350, having D.
Well, you cannot. Examination is not. You can measure with that, Pastor Felix.
Yes.
I mean, it's an examination. So for the child to have scored 300 and something in joint admission matriculations board examination, then he's not. He doesn't.
But Mr. Evans, sir, when you check some of these children, you check physics A, chemistry A, biology A. Then is that same child, that brain should have also be applied in that same. And I believe must have been applied in that same English language, because the child is not a dullard. Having A in chemistry, A in physics, even mathematics, and maybe other subjects. Then coming to English language, you just have F9. If I thought the child is not, that exceptional, but in English language, but English language should be at least C6, not D7 or C5 or even a B.
All right, so that's just it. So we are still following the issues, and hopefully we should be able to bring a representative from the WAEC board so that they can also bear their mind. Because the reactions that we are having in the media space right now, it's, they are not comfortable at all, because parents are not just comfortable with the results. Well, it's been a good time with you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Evans.